my testosterone tanked. It was over 600 when I pulled it about a year ago. And when I pulled these labs a year later, after going carnivore for 7.5 months, my testosterone went from over 600 down to 315. And that's a substantial decrease.
But your free testosterone and total testosterone are pretty low.
Wow.
Your dihydrotestosterone is really low too. I think the last time we looked, these were not low.
I don't feel like I don't have a sex drive though.
I know, right?
But having lower testosterone after eating all that protein seems like kind of counterintuitive. I think it was at 600 on the Nutri-Eval.
It was what?
I think it was 600 before.
Yeah, I think it was 600 on the SpectraCell.
Yeah, the SpectraCell is like 600. How did it go to half?
I don't know. Maybe some people may have a different phenotype where they get more sensitive.
It's one, my fat was probably more like 50% of my diet. It wasn't up to 70 or 80%. And two, I was doing one meal a day about 6 to 8 weeks leading up to this blood test. And so I was fasting around 22 hours and I was just eating one meal, fairly calorie restricted, probably around 2,000 calories, where I need to eat closer to about 2,700 calories at my body weight. What you're gonna see though is I pulled my blood again about 3 weeks later and retested my testosterone, and I'm gonna share that in a future video. And
estradiol, I don't know why that would be low, but that seems fine. I mean, I'm guessing you're just not eating stuff that has, hormones in there. FSH looks good, LH is in range. All of these, testosterone's pretty high, free testosterone's good. Percent free, wouldn't really be too worried about that.
Didn't you say, Nathan, there was like an insulin correlation with one of these?
Yes, that's sex hormone binding globulin, yeah. But okay. My guess is with the testosterone, like you have plenty of free testosterone and plenty of regular, bound testosterone. So my guess is that on, a carnivore diet, it's possibly the case that your sensitivity to testosterone is increased, so you don't actually need as much.
That would make sense.
Still within the reference range, so no issue there.
Let me see what 6.61 is. 6.61 divided by 703. Not even 1% of his total T is freely available to tissues. That is not an optimal percentage, and it certainly would be worth looking at closer, and especially with this flagship standout sex hormone binding globulin of 103.5.
Sex hormone binding globulin, SHBG, is correlated with insulin sensitivity. So the more insulin sensitive you are, the higher your SHBG will be.
Which I would imagine is a good thing metabolically speaking, right?
I think it's just the thing that is. I don't know how much there is to it. So, I mean, that's your testosterone ends up being bound to this protein. I don't really know what to make of it, but yeah, I mean, it's probably a good thing. And it's just a thing that happens when it's one of these things where like probably the reference range sucks because everyone in the US is metabolically ill. So it's just like it is what it is. It's probably fine.
Okay.
Like if you actually look at the reference ranges for men versus women, females, it's up to 144 nanomoles per liter. For men, as you can see here, it cuts off at 55.9 for him. So he has a normal SHBG for a girl with a shit ton of estrogen in her system, but for a guy, it's definitely not good.
Now, I'm not a doctor, but I can hypothesize based on the research that I've done and based on the simple formulation of cholesterol equaling testosterone and ketosis being really good for a lot of other functions of the body, that it may be a good route to go to potentially boost testosterone.
Maybe you saw my video back in September. I actually did a video all about how I tripled my testosterone in just 3 weeks.
Again, I'm not a doctor. I say this with a grain of salt. This is all my own formulation in my mind based on my own research.
Y'all know what time it is. Red Pill Vegan. Next.